Welcome. I'm Chris McKean.
And I'm Andy Kiner.
We're all about cross-country racing, and usually it starts with 10 seconds.
But not in Iowa. In Iowa, it starts with hands-on helmets. Not this race, though.
No, not the one coming up. I swear that trophy gets bigger and bigger, or is it just you shrinking?
It's me shrinking.
Yeah. So.
Dang.
Oh, man. Are you rehydrated after this weekend?
I think we have issues.
No, we don't have issues.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. Would you say
What do you want me to say? You think it's on my side?
I think so, bud. Sorry. I say how we want to get started, but you're breaking up really bad. Well, and now you are muted and we can't hear anything.
How about now?
Oh, there we go.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, yeah. Now that you shut your mute off, I can hear you.
No, I think it's kind of my setup here. I have issues with it, so yeah, we'll just disconnect and we'll go with on the fly. So I was saying, have you recuperated from this weekend?
Oh yeah, yep. I was good on Sunday. Well, I didn't really do much Sunday. So
I was crunching numbers, and yeah, it took quite a bit of my Sunday. Even though we had, we had kids points completed at the race on Saturday. So thanks, Kim, for helping me out. I was dealing with a hand issue. Yeah, we got the super problem. We had everything posted for the results, so it's kind of been a goal. If we can get everything settled at the track, we'll go ahead and post the results before we leave. But man, points were done for kids on Saturday, and I finished them up yesterday. Double checked all the Kingdom entries, and so those were all updated late last night. So yeah.
I heard. I think I heard most of that. I think.
Are we continuing to have issues here?
Yeah.
Oh,
I think you said you got points updated at the track, which we thank you for that. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. Nothing other than getting Painesville all squared away here. So we were ready to go on Saturday.
Nice. So yeah, I think it's getting better now.
So yeah, you guys stay next extra day. You can't type and talk. So
yep, we did stay an extra day. We came home probably about 10, 11 o'clock on Sunday. It was starting to get hot down there, but it was still pretty darn nice. So a lot better than it was on, the day before, that's for sure.
Friday, Saturday, yeah.
So, sorry, we're getting started a little rough, aren't we?
We are. You're very rough today. You don't have a guest. And one of us is just got home, 10 minutes before we're supposed to start today. So I'll take that and some technical issues going on as well. You gotta get hyped up.
Well, I'm listening to my little Martian friend right now, my co-host.
I don't know what else to do, bud. I can put on the old microphone.
We'll definitely try.
Not any better. Still fuzzy,
That's better.
but otherwise it's kind of jumbled.
Yeah, it was really bad there at the beginning. That's why I always try to get you on here an hour before so we can prepare.
I mean, yeah. If we need to go back to the old headsets, let me know.
I'm just not sure what's going on. It's been good all up to last, I don't know, this time, I guess, but.
Well, you talk. There's a question in the comments here. Let me grab my microphone.
Says youth and minis start same as adults at Caneville, correct? No. Nope. Youth and the minis are exactly the same as always. They start at the track, not at the not downtown. So there'll be a starting line and everything just like normal for the youth. Only the adults start downtown. Ooh, I about clicked out of there. About messed up there. You still hear me?
I can. Can you hear me? No?
We are trying, everybody. We are trying. Sorry about this. I guess this stuff can happen. How about now?
How about now? Still nothing?
Nope, I can hear you.
Hear me okay?
Yep. Oh, gosh. Can you hear that?
Maybe you should mute that. Yeah. All right.
Well, let's start again. I'm Andy.
I'm Chris. Welcome to the podcast. Normally it's me trying to walk you through all the technical issues.
Yeah, it seems funny. Every time we have this, it seems like it's on your side for some reason. You should just take the Starlink and go out and set in the Prius and see if you can get better reception.
I don't have a Prius. You know what was funny is that, I gave Cora a ride home, and Tracy's mom from the racetrack kind of felt sorry for her, gave her a ride home so she didn't have to walk, and she was cracking up Prius jokes on the way home. So I don't know what you told her, but she almost had to walk the rest of the way home. Told her one more.
That's too funny.
So, it's good times.
Oh boy. Yes, it is. So let's jump right in since we've had some issues. We're a little bit behind now.
Yes, you're behind.
Going over this race.
Yeah.
We had a really good, if I remember right, what, an 85 youth riders.
85.
I think it was. Yep. And 25 minis, I think.
Yep.
25 or 26. So we were right at about 110, I think, if I counted right. So we're only 5 off from the record. We kind of being steady about right there this year, right? About 105 to 115. So that's really cool.
And 160 adults.
160. Okay. Yep. It's staying pretty darn close.
Yeah.
So, and to only be down, we had 170, I think, last time, wasn't it?
100. I thought it was like 185 off the top of my head.
It was, but we're not down too far for as hot as it was. That's pretty darn good. So,
Yeah.
Plus, that was a second race of bonus points. Only one more chance now after Cahokia, to lock in your whole shot challenge. So it was a good weekend. Got to be proud of everybody that went out there and raced. And, the kids had it hot, but man, the adults, it was just hotter than heck with them guys. So if you finish that race, man, congratulations.
Yeah, it was quite the hot one. We've seen that hour mark kind of take its toll on a lot of the racers.
Yeah. But
about the importance of
it's about as bad as it's been now, Chris. Well, while Chris is trying to get his figured out, I want to definitely thank Thad Trump and Jake and everybody down there for everything that they did. They had that track setting really nice, really nice when we got there. So it made it. I just can't even say it enough. I mean, it was a big relief for the guys worked their butts off and stuff, but had that stuff not been done before that heat hit, it would have been a whole different day, different weekend, So thanks to them guys for knocking that out. It was phenomenal. So guys did another wonderful job getting everything set up and ready to go. The switches. I don't think we're late for one race, maybe just 2 or 3 minutes type thing, But yeah, it was a pretty darn good weekend. So we had a couple get-offs, and everybody is just fine. We had one in the youth. We had one in the adults. Probably had more, but the one that was transported, everything ended up being just fine. And our youth was just fine, just sore. So just give an update on both of them. So, yep, everything was pretty good. So with the heat, we had a couple, I think that the heat really got to a little bit. But yeah, thank gosh. I think for the most part, everybody listened and got hydrated. A couple of them that didn't, probably paid the price a little bit. But when it's that hot, man, it's just, it's nothing to joke with, drinking the right stuff. I think you and I had said like Tuesday, Wednesday, make sure you're drinking it. And I heard people down there talking like, for the last week, we've been drinking water, making sure everything was good. So, but yeah, I think for the most part, as hot as that was, I think everybody did a pretty darn good job. And I heard a lot of kids, and I didn't hear any adults, but I heard a lot of kids saying they wanted to go again, that they were loving it. Some of them were, I think, more the 50s than anything, but it was just always nice to hear, that they want more. So
gotcha.
I don't think we had any adults wanting to go around that track again as hot as it was. So, but
yeah, it was, our day was perfect. We had a couple hiccups at scoring for the adults. Kind of had some that 2 of them that we had to kind of keep track of all race long and make sure that they were scored appropriately. I think we had one hiccup in the kids class, or we're going to say the youth, but minis were perfect. So not too many issues. Just some things we had to keep track of, lap times, and fix those as the race was going on. So not that major.
I didn't get to see much of what was going on there with the youth. I just got the end of it. But can you tell us just a kind of a little bit about what caused that? Because I think I always struggle with talking to everybody about, is this right? Is this the scoring? And I always 100% always say, yes, that is the scoring, but it's not official. That's to try to help everybody know where they're at. But there's always stuff going on behind the scenes. Kind of tell us what was going on then.
We had a hiccup in the kids' core, or the youth session with the system. an error came up on the system, and it caused the reader not to read like 10 racers in a row. And when we found it out, we hurried up quickly, took action, and was entering those racers in. And I, mistakenly doing so, gave an extra racer I think it ended up being like a 4-minute lap. So I incorrectly entered them in 2 laps instead of 1 lap. And I apologize, but it was done in a hurry to try to get all the scoring done. And that's why we check everything at the end. It had to be fixed. So we had to remove that lap and make it right for everyone.
Yeah. And the only reason I bring that up, Chris, is so many times ends up being someone having 2 things on their helmets, or or something not skiing, and it's just another thing of what can go wrong there. That's why it's so important to say, it's unofficial. You know what I mean, and not to get hung up on it too hard, on that. So sometimes
it's always unofficial. Yeah,
correct. Sometimes it's our fault. Sometimes the racer has another scanner on his helmet or on the machine. I mean, it's just, there's a wide variety, but I guess why I'm pointing this all out, it affects so many people when something like that goes wrong. You know what I mean? There's that class there. Yeah. That class there was probably, I don't know, I might say maybe 20. I don't know, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
So it throws people off, and that's why, it's got to get corrected and stuff. So I appreciate getting that done as quick as you can. And then I know I was there when you were explaining it afterwards. So I always try to listen just so I know, all the different stuff. It's amazing, all the little things that can go wrong. And you just, even it might be new to us after all these years, Yeah,
that's why it's, important we do the backup scoring. And I don't know if anybody knows, but every time that, we have 100 spaces on our sheets, our backup scoring sheets. So, for example, after, the first page of 100 racers come through, we go and we do a scan print in the scoring system, and we compare the 2. That will make, that's kind of our check and balances behind the scenes that we do. I'll go in and print and compare everything, which Kim was a big help this race since I got injured there first lap of the youth. So it was great to have that extra set of hands, but that's why we do the backup scoring, and we just make sure everything's right before we post anything.
And what we've had people ask too, how did you get injured? And when I say this, I am not, is obviously an accident. And
it was an accident.
And I'm not pointing this out by no means to the, to whose machine that was. I'm just bringing this up because I think there's probably things in hindsight looking at that we could be doing. And I think part of that was obviously as hot as it was that day. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So first lap coming through, we're always trying to be there to slow everybody down. And it just happened, exhaust was right there on the rear grab bar. I didn't see it, and I went to grab the rear grab bar and burnt my right hand pretty good. Yeah, so that was why we were wrapped up, and then all the numerous ice baths and trying to keep it cooled down so it didn't blister too bad and didn't lose too many layers of skin there. But we're better today, so I can use my hands for work because takes a lot sitting in a chair going typing on a keyboard all day.
Sure, yeah. Well, the main reason I was asking that, Chris, is and again, we know in hindsight, so it's easy for us to say this now, but if you do know that could be an issue, I guess I would beg anybody, to maybe put some head wrap on it or on that bumper, or something, because my guess is if it wasn't you, it could have been somebody else, because everybody's willing to jump in there, and it's probably a thing they didn't even realize it, but if you do know, and this is 23 years, and I think it's probably only happened a couple, 2 or 3 times and all the time, but it's just scary.
It was my second time getting burnt like that. A couple of years ago, it got burnt really bad at Fort Dodge. So yeah, just be aware of it. because we're always willing to help out, no matter who the kid is. Wasn't their fault. Try to get them back on the track, okay, but it's those unexpected. Wasn't expecting it to be so hot.
Right. Yeah. And accidents happen. I would just, like I said, I would have hated to see a little kid, not a little kid, but somebody try to help too, when that happened to them or something, so.
Yep. So,
but took
all
one
good.
for the team again, man. I appreciate that, Chris.
Yeah.
So, but no, so, we had how did that work? The new section, Trump would give us an idea on how to get through there and bypass the scoring so we could use that way going, I guess you call it clockwise, maybe.
Yeah. Go around the
still
scoring the first lap.
Yeah. How did that work for you?
I mean, I loved it. I mean, I was able to actually step out and flag and make sure that all the adults were going the right way, since they did take that sharp right coming out of the creek bottom. But it was good bypassing scoring. We didn't have any issues that first lap at all. So
nice. And I think the way we end up doing the coming into scoring, from what I seen, got them slowed down a lot more. So I think that probably helped quite a bit too, didn't it?
I think that, and the combination of the heat, people maybe weren't, pressuring, going that quickly, kind of being more reserved coming up to scoring, which was grateful. Yeah. And because also I see Dylan made a comment here that the halfway point we were handing out water or pouring water back or down the backs of the racers, whatever they needed to kind of cool them down. But yeah, always there to help and do anything we can.
And why I haven't talked to you on this, and I'm not trying to call you out here on live, but just to be clear, because I did hear some stuff, and I want to be very clear to everybody on this. We do preach every race not to be giving water in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But this was a very unusual circumstance. We don't give waters out all the time. You were doing that because we had so many that was getting hot, almost overheating. So I feel like you were going the extra mile. Maybe we should have done it further up, maybe not. But at the heat of the moment, I thought it was a great thing that you did. And I hope everybody that might have questioned, like, why are you giving water out here when we can't, understands why we did that. There was no favoritism. There's no nothing. We were just worried and concerned about everybody, making sure they had something if they needed it. So I just want to cover that real quick, because we did have a couple things that come up Saturday, and just want to address them and make sure, like we said, we're being as transparent as possible on here. So especially after each race. So
yeah, there was quite the concern after we got some reports that there was some dehydration going on throughout the track. So that's kind of where we step in, make sure everybody's hydrated, because they should be getting that hydration from their pits. So just some maybe need a little bit more. So
so exactly. But thanks for doing that. I know you gave a lot away of your own waters there. Just start handing them. So that was good. So. So I had a lot of good racing, even though it was so hot and everything. Man, there were some good battles again, and I don't think we had quite as many get-offs as we did last year. Didn't hear much about, I heard there was some bottlenecks, but I didn't hear of anything major. Now, maybe there was, but it just seemed like everything went pretty darn well. I know the backside and what we call the kitty litter was pretty dusty. I was amazed up there behind the scoring. I call it the kids area, in behind the pits and stuff. But I went through there, I don't know how many times, and it was so pleasant in there. It was felt like it was like 10 degrees cooler, because you're in the shade and stuff. But man, the track it was just fun. It wasn't dusty. It just there was like 3 different worlds there, and it's pretty interesting. That was a good race. So so I do want to address some stuff. I know we weren't going to be too long tonight, but I do want to address some stuff, Chris, that came up.
Yep.
I'm going to save some of it till the end, but there was, and we'll talk about this again at the very end, but there was a thread that got brought up on my most unfavorite website, as you know, their forum. And I was notified on Saturday night, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure it's Saturday night.
Okay.
Saturday night or Sunday morning. Anyway, it was brought up, and one of them that had started the thread called me, and I can't tell them thank you enough, because that's the way it should work. If there's an issue, man, please bring it up. But they're 100% right. We had some issues on the track this weekend. We're not going to run from it. We're going to fix every single bit of it. A lot of it's already been fixed. We're addressing it immediately. I will definitely take the blame on it, because at the very end, I'm the one that okays things or says to do things or not to do things. And I probably didn't do it right this race. So we had a couple issues with utilities out on the track, track workers that didn't have, they came on late. We just got them out there. We knew it was hot. We're trying to, get as many as we can. And sometimes that bites you. And I think it did Saturday, sometimes I'll tell you, I don't know who it was. Somebody can vouch for me, but I kept looking back all the time just in that kids course. And I swear I just looked back, and then I just happened to caught something out of the side of my eye, and I look back and I'm about ready to get ran over. And somebody had to follow me for about 20, 30 feet before I could jump off to the side real quick. And I felt horrible, because, man, you think you can hear him coming, and sometimes you just can't. And obviously I don't even have a helmet on, so I felt bad when, I don't stop them by no means, but like I said, they jumped in behind me, and I got off as soon as I could, but I did not see them coming at all. But I guess we did have a couple track workers out there without shirts, that, like I said, came on late, and I tried to get out in a position. We did something a little different this time, Chris. We had a meeting on Friday night.
Yep.
Trying to prepare for it, and knowing that we could have people getting hot or overheating. We've had some issues in the past with this, and we never want to go through that again. And so we had it all set up, coordinated, to where instead of having everybody going around and then we get caught up, we had them in different sections. And we had like 2 in one section, and, and 5 in another section, and then there was a couple of us that were supposed to have been doing the kids section, up there behind scoring. And I got caught at the end of pit lanes. It took me away from doing up there. I didn't hear any issues there. But the guys I know were trying to keep up with everything. And we had, I think it was 5 different guys we had back there in what we call Tim's at the big timber. And that place, it just seems like it goes forever, the timber. And I guess there's a couple issues. I just didn't know they were track workers type situation, because they didn't have the shirts on and stuff. That's already corrected. Like I said, I take complete responsibility for that. We're going to revamp kind of how we do that, Chris, after this race, since we did have some issues, and they're absolutely legitimate. So nothing on that thread, if anybody knows what I'm talking about, was off. It's 100% correct. There were some issues that we need to correct and on the track. And that, again, it's already been done. And then our crew will be talking about it. We'll break it down again. T-shirts already ordered for the rest of them that didn't have it. We did have, it sounds like a side-by-side issue. Once again, that was kind of out of our control, I would say. It was not any of our racers that I'm aware of at all, or families that were on there. But obviously we did have, I think everybody knows it. If I say we had 50 complaints, I'm going to be honest and say that's probably a light number, about the pit riding, the e-bikes and stuff. Man, as well as I do, Chris, we've been trying to, we want to enforce it, but we also want to make sure everybody's still having fun. But it's getting that point, and I've warned everybody. I'm not talking about the kids because I warned the parents. The kids aren't supposed to be on anything. I know they're on e-bikes, but it's getting to that point.
Yeah.
And so many people brought it to our attention this race with what was going on. We will have.
I was very disappointed with all the, I'm not going to name names, all the kids that were racing the e-bikes at the tail end of the 50s.
Yeah.
So disappointing that would happen. And so many of them that from the youth class took it upon themselves to try to race the 50s during the 50 race.
I was very disappointed. We had one that went down in almost a pond, I'd say about 5 to 10 foot down, on the head-to-head section right there by the road in the pit lane. And we're trying to get them off. And I had 3 youth riders come through there as we're trying to help somebody on pit bikes, just hauling butt. Yep. And I yelled at them, told them to get their freaking butts out of here and don't ever let me see you back on the racetrack again with them while there's a race going on. And if I see that, that'll be the last time, they have bikes out there. I'm trying to be as polite as I can, but yet, straightforward. We have no time for that. We don't have mountain bike races or e-bike races. We have 4-wheeler races. So stay off the track. The next time we will definitely have an issue with this if this happens again. So, but not just on the track where we know we have a situation with the e-bikes. They're getting to be more and more popular. The riding the double, the going fast through there. I'm not sure really why we would have to say that an e-bike would be any different than pit riding. We tell everybody on the pit ride, it should be 5 mile an hour. And there's no reason to be going 30 mile an hour through the pits on anything, nothing, especially riding double or having 2 or 3 people on a machine. It doesn't work like that. So we've said it before. I'm going to say it again, Chris. This will be the last time I say it nicely. The pit riding, there should be absolutely no youth on a machine ever. And I stopped 3 or 4 people, youth riders on 90s, whether they were at the starting line for the 50s, the starting line for the adults. That is the definition of pit riding. It's not going to happen. So whether parents get mad at me, I'm sorry to be that way, but I will start pulling the keys. And I don't care where the machine's at. I will pull the key. You can have the key back after the event. You can go push it back to your trailer. I don't care how hot it is. We're going to eliminate that before you lose it for everybody. And speaking of everybody, there was other machines that were crossing the track, whether they be, I don't care even if it's e-bikes. When you're crossing the track as fast as we've seen some of that going on while people are racing, we are right on the verge of losing it for everybody. And the last thing I want to see is a 17-year-old or 20-year-old that's, no offense to anybody, I know they just want to have fun, but you have people there that really need a pit vehicle, and we don't want to lose it for them. We ordered all the passes and stuff so we can start giving them passes, but we know makes it convenient for everybody. So we're trying to do it right. But when you see 10 people on a golf cart hanging off to the side, pit bikes flying through there. I mean, as many people that brought it up to my attention this weekend, it's obviously it was out of control this weekend. And I hate to talk like this. I hate to bring it up in front of anybody and everybody, but it is. So we will get that under control again. I would just say be prepared. The next race, we actually encourage you to bring your pit vehicles to get down to the falls, to get downtown. Remember, we will have people giving rides also, even down to the falls where you don't have to drive. They're going to literally be going back and forth that whole race. But it's the same thing. If we see you going, I say 5 mile an hour, but as well as I do, we're pretty lenient. If it's 10 mile an hour, so what? That's double the speed that we're telling you. It's just doing the right thing in the common sense. But if we see you out there, cutting the cookies like I did on somebody on Saturday, man, there's going to be, you know, we're going to have issues, and we're going to deal with it head on. So, again, I don't want to beat dead horse here, but, you know, youth, parents, racers, you know, whatever it might be, you know, get control of it now before the next race. Understand what you can do, what you can't do. You know, I tell you, it sounds funny, but one of the ones that bugged me the most is I was in there at scoring, helping, not scoring, registration, helping you register people, Chris. And I think I'd walked out to the Alco display right there. And I turned around 10 feet behind me. I see a kid go flying by, probably 25, 30 mile an hour, right through where everybody was. And I thought, oh my gosh, you know, so I don't know if it's just because more people are getting them now or what, but I promise everybody, you can hold me to this. I promise I will be taking care of it. You know, for the youth, or for the 20-year-old, 30-year-old, whatever it might be, that doesn't think that they can walk, you know, 5 pits down, you know. But I see grandma and grandpa doing the same thing. You know, it's probably time to wake up a little bit. So we've just got to get it figured out. So the other thing that I want to address that came out on that, the one I'm going to address at the end, but our not pit riding, but our parents helping us with the races. Unfortunately, we took a really bad hit this weekend. What I mean by that is it was brought to my attention. I seen something happen myself and then got sidetracked and didn't take care of it. But I just want to apologize to all the parents that had an issue or their kid was affected by what happened on Saturday. But there will be nobody, and let me repeat this, Chris, I don't care if somebody comes to me and says, well, one of your guys, that's why I hear all the time now, is one of your guys said this, or one of your guys, but nobody can ever tell me what guy it was. It's always funny, I think, but nobody will okay anybody helping us from here on out unless it's me. And I know I explained everything to a person on Saturday that did completely backwards to what I explained. And I explain it the same way every time. And that explanation I tell everybody is more people we can get on the track. As far as I'm concerned, more eyes on there, the better. But you're not part of the race. You're not part of the race. You sure as hell don't pass people, you know, and you help everybody, you know. And unfortunately, there's a lot of stuff that's brought to my attention, and that's not what happened. And so that right there, as of right now, will eliminate every single person that's not on our crew. We're done. We're not moving forward with any help on the track. That hurts all the kids, not just one of them. There's been so many times where I've allowed somebody to take my own personal four-wheeler, Chris, when a kid was not feeling it or not, here, take my four and go with them, you know, and it's always worked out. And we had enough issues on Saturday that's probably not going to work out anymore. So we're going to have all of our guys out there busting butts. And what happens, Chris, just so everybody knows, during the kids, we have 99% of our people out there, but there's always a chance that we might have, like this race, I think we probably had 2 or 3 that was out on the adult course, making sure everything was good, you know, because we always get that extra help for the kids. But I think that's gone now. And I think we just will make sure we got everything done. Or, you know, if we need to hold the race up until something else is done, then that's what we're going to have to do. But I promise you the issues that happened on Saturday having to do with people on the track, it's not going to happen. Some of the stuff I was honestly embarrassed with, Chris. I really was. So we haven't had that happen in 23 years that I'm aware of, and it had to happen this race. So I'm just being as very transparent as I can, Chris. I'm not making any excuses. Like I said, I'm the one that okayed it. You know, it comes back on me. So unfortunately, that's like I said, things are going to be changing there too. So nobody from here on out, I don't care if you're already helping us, if you're not on the crew, nobody has the permission to help on the kids course with a machine, okay, unless they talk to me and me only. That's that's the way it's going to be. So,
well, yeah, because I know that somebody was asking me, and as always, I know people like, well, why you just refer me to Andy? It's because you're the ultimate decision maker. So that's why I
Well,
refer everyone to you.
and it's not that I don't trust you or anybody else
No.
doing it. I want to make sure
No.
that from here on out, everybody hears the exact same thing every time. And
Yeah.
that's
And just to be clear, you're talking about the minis. So I don't think we had any parents on the track during the youth, but during the mini session. So
correct. Yep.
Okay.
So, but anyway, so that's that part of it. The other I'm gonna save till the end, the one that's really bugging me. But
well, yeah, and I don't want to take away from the overall race. I know we had some hiccups. Heat, man, was a challenge. So, but one of the fun things, since you're talk about some lighthearted stuff, was Friday night observing the water truck. So I can't thank Thad enough for everything that he's done for that track. But man, he brought a huge semi full of water and was watering down pit lane, and even got some kids took advantage of with the heat, getting wet and chasing that water around. So
yeah, it was funny because I agree with you, but he did that. I don't know. I'm gonna guess 4 or 5 times. I don't know how many gallons that thing is. That's a lot of water, and we still seen how dry it was. But yeah, just it was amazing the stuff he did. But yeah, we sat out there that one time watching the kids run through that, and it was just like, man, that has to be the kids loved it, So
yeah,
it was fun. But once again, when you were having some issues there, I was thinking Thad, but that's just another. You can't go through the whole list of things and remember everything at once. That was huge. So, yep. But no, other than that, I thought the race went well. We didn't have any issues with someone cutting a track or nothing like that. I thought it went really well. We had obviously some breakdowns and stuff, getting towed and stuff, but I thought it just went really well. I was pretty proud of everybody, staying on course and doing well, I thought. So
yeah. Fair.
And I seen, I think you started talking about it when you were having some issues there, but I was blown away at the race. I think it was I can't remember what it was, but you had mentioned that you already put the results up on. Oh, it was when we're doing awards.
Yeah, well, all the kids were, all the results were all done within 10 minutes of the race being officially over, and making sure everything was right before we did awards. So I think when you were talking there, I'd already posted everything online for each session. So goes quick when we know it, when there aren't any issues and there isn't anything to fix afterwards.
It's nice. Yep. And I had some phone calls, a couple guys that weren't familiar with the whole shots that got whole shots and didn't realize they got t-shirts. So they'll be able to pick up their t-shirt, I said, at the next race. Also, we went through what that qualifies them for at the end of the year with Murray. So that's really cool. Yeah. Only one more race to qualify for that, because reminder, Catonsville, there's no whole shots there because only 5 at a time. So the last time to qualify for the Hotsy Whole Shot Challenge and the $3,000 purse will be at Weldon. So there'll be a lot of people shooting for that one. That's for sure. So, of course, that'll be held. What's that?
Just counted. There's 8 total of 8 new whole shot winners from just this race. So we kind of were So that's adding up. I mean, you got some multiple winners from the same class with the whole shots, but 8 more. So that's it's going to give us quite the show round 7 if everybody participates.
And we almost had an issue this weekend. I warned them. I'm saying this lightly. I'm just saying it not to, probe somebody, but to probe everybody, I guess, if you don't have plates on, you will not get the whole shot. You know what I mean?
Yep.
You're just not going to do it. If they can't see it, I'm not going to have them going back and trying to figure out who it was. It's your job to have plates on. We try to make sure everybody, but if we miss one or two people, and you don't have it on, you will not be getting a whole shot. So please don't come upset. We've tried to tell everybody on how many times you have to have the number plates on there. So, and that is for scoring, no different than the whole shot, is being able to see who it is. So please make sure you got those plates on there and everything. So, but
yep.
Let's see what else
for all of us.
Correct.
I mean, that's even for the track crew guys when they're towing in, that it's easy for them to relay a number to scoring, so we can keep track of who's out there and maybe not still actively racing, that we write down. So in case there's a question from a parent or a family member, we can kind of keep track of those. So it's important.
Yeah,
So,
I'm glad you mentioned that, because that's one place I always forget to mention, that is the towing or pushing, back.
Yeah.
Otherwise, that's stopping to ask the rider, who is it, and why do we call that in, Chris? Number one, obviously is for you. So,
Yep.
Someone's getting pushed in, so they don't get credit for that lap if they're getting towed in, but
Mhm.
number two, it's for safety. How many times a race, and I'm going to say probably 20 times a race, do we have somebody come up and say, have you seen 19? He hasn't
Yep.
been in. He's supposed to been back 10 minutes ago. Well, there's a good chance if that is happening, somebody might be with them, whether they broke or they're having an issue, That's why we
Yep.
try to call it in immediately. And I know you hear it all the time is, hey, I've got 72, out here. He's got a chain. We're trying to put it back on, but, we're going to see if we can get him going, just
Yep.
trying to communicate with scoring to so many people around there. I know you communicate with them and let them know what's going on. Or if someone's broke, obviously you could say, hey, they're broke and they're heading back to the pits, so those number panels are so important. Every race we have somebody ask and stuff and go over it. But I think it's a good deal, not just for passing and getting past, but also, like you say, the scoring and towing and everything.
Mhm.
So, but yeah. So
yeah.
on the race, then we had, I think there was a couple new winners. The one that really popped into my head was Hoyt Faulkner.
Yeah.
He's always working so hard. You see all their videos from practice, and they're always traveling, racing, and he's been so close so many times. It was, you never root against anybody or for one person, but it's just something you kind of like when you see something that you see the work getting put in and then it pays off, so that one really stuck with me that day, seeing him win. So that was pretty cool. But yeah. Let's see what else for Saturday.
Oops.
Had really good food. I know that. But just the heat kind of dominated the weekend, kind of kept people from, seemed like the kids were out playing, but seemed like a lot of the parents might have been inside, in the cool air or something, didn't quite see him as much. Or maybe it's because I was a Sally and I went inside and that's why I didn't see him. So, but some of our guys did really well on Friday night racing down there at the fairgrounds. So, yeah, so that was pretty cool. So we didn't make it in. Everybody was kind of shot, from working all day Friday. Tell you what, when we decided we weren't going in, I went in the camper and I fell asleep till like 9:30. I think it was like 7:30 when I went in, and I woke up at 9:30 sitting in the chair, and then I actually went to bed and didn't get up till like 6:30 that next morning. So I got a good night's rest out of a change at the track. So, but got to thank all the guys, man. There's just a ton of work that went on, and from top to bottom, can't thank everybody enough, and the girls, and, just sitting down at the front gate, everything. So when it's that hot, man, it's easy for something to fall apart, and it didn't do it. So appreciate everybody doing that.
Yep. So I mean, two deserving call outs here. We got two undefeated class winners so far. Jackson Carroll's won every round in the open utility class, as well as Brian Baker in the plus 40 class.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, both of them. Only two. I don't know if that's. We'll have to stay tuned and see if they can keep that streak going.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I think
that's
this
the
will be a
one.
good test. Not this weekend, the following weekend. That'll be a heck of a test. If you win that race, Chris, I know we haven't kind of switched over yet, but if you win that race, you definitely have earned it. That's for sure. So it's gonna be a tough one. So, but real quick though, I forgot to say anything, but once again, thanks to Bold Off Road. Bold Off Road is the title sponsor, I think, for this race last 2 or 3 years out of Colgan, Iowa. And Bold Off Road, we haven't ever gotten to see them yet because they've been so busy. They had some personal stuff going on this time, but they've been a sponsor now, like I said, for 2 or 3 years. Colgan, Iowa, they're just unbelievable. They build some of the coolest side-by-side stuff out there. Any part repair on ATV side-by-side, wheels, tires, whatever it might be, race fuel, they can get pretty much everything for you. So please don't be afraid to reach out to Dave over there at Bold Off Road and let him know how much we appreciate them being on board. So can't thank them enough. And then also Power Sports Share. They went live there, I think, almost 2 weeks ago now. And I told everybody at every riders meeting on them guys, it was hot. I know we kind of wanted to hurry through it, but hey, these guys came on board with us before they were truly even a company or they were live, to get the word out and stuff. So I beg everybody just to take 5 minutes, and go to powersportshare.com and register on there. It's not going to cost you anything, but lets them know that we're looking, we're listening, and you never know. Somebody, you might be interested in renting out a side-by-side or an ATV or snowmobile, or you might be going somewhere else, whether it be, California to the dunes or, to Colorado, snowmobiling, and what a way, if you don't have to haul it, you can get on there and rent a sled, and save yourself a lot of money. So definitely check them out. They've been really good to us, and there's some stuff that we've been able to do thanks to them that we wouldn't have been able to do. So Power Sports Share title sponsor, and our title sponsor for this race is Bold Off Road. So we thank them both. So.
All right. So switch gears. Like I said, we got basically a week and a half.
It sure don't seem like it.
Oh, it's going fast.
I'll be at the track in 3 days,
Yep.
Saturday, Sunday we'll be there, and then we'll be back. I think Tuesday I'll be back down there. Adam Ratliff, he's texted me just right as we were coming on here tonight. He just got him and the landowner put a gate in for us. We were in a dire situation where we had to get a way to get into. It's down by the falls area, but there was no gate. So he did a just unbelievable job. He's down there getting that put in tonight. He said it was done. I think tomorrow he's getting a load or two of rock for me for the drive to make sure, in case we're getting wet, I hope we get a little bit of rain, but the guys have been down there working their butts off, give them all credit. But man, Adam has just done so much down there that, heck, I might have to get an Adam Ratliff trophy the next time. So we'll see. Speaking of trophies. But
yes, that's growing and you're shrinking. We got it.
So yeah, the track, thanks to Adam, it sounds like we got the kids' course is connected. So I'm thinking by this weekend, all we'll have probably left to do on the kids is literally mark it, and that thing will be done. And that's the 50s and the 70s, 90s. I'm guessing we'll probably try to have that marked on Thursday. Is probably when that'll be marked. I know we got people coming in Thursday. Gates open at noon, I think, if I remember right, on Thursday. So yeah, we'll probably have to probably try to have that done. And the adults, I hope to have them either Thursday or early Friday be completely marked. So
Good.
we got some more layout to do this weekend. We got to connect. I want to say approximately 3 more miles to get done, to get to where we need to be, and then finish trimming out. Again, Adam's done a ton more trimming since we left. Get that laid out, get it trimmed. Everything should be connected the dots then. I'm hoping I can get it mapped out on Onyx, and then I will be back, hopefully be able to print that off or share it with people so they can see, what we're dealing with. So, but it's still going to be, we think, approximately 14 miles, Chris. It'll have everything in it. I believe Adam and I have been talking about the kids course. I think we finally decided, talked me into extending the kids course.
Whoa.
Yeah, so the kids course could actually be quite long this time for them.
Are we talking for the 70s,
Youth.
90s?
Yeah, for the youth one.
Okay.
So we're going to see. There's a good chance we could take them almost actually clear over to the falls, and they'll potentially be on a sandbar. They'll be potentially crossing the creek. Now there's not much water in it. They won't be going any kind of a deep water whatsoever. But yeah, we might be having it. We think we got it to where it's laid out now to where we can really extend them out a little bit. So should be fun. I'm just going to guess, Chris, with being an hour race, I'm going to say the youth probably will be, I'm going to guess 3 laps, maybe 4. I'm going to say probably 4 for the real fast ones. So it's going to be a nice track for them, so it wouldn't surprise me at all if it was a 15-minute, maybe even 20-minute lap. So,
Okay.
But,
So how you said the goal is somewhere around 14 miles for adults.
correct.
How is that comparison to Cahokia? Because wasn't Cahokia 7 something?
Yeah, we thought it was going to be 9, and for some reason, I don't know. It's funny because when I measure stuff out on my Onyx, if my Onyx says 7.8, my quad always says like 8. So I'm not sure if we used Onyx. I'd have to ask. Joe usually does the final thing for us, but I think it actually came down to 7.8 if I remember right. Which seems a little light, but I'm sure some of the guys racing said it sure seemed a lot longer than that,
So
But,
just in comparison, that it could be twice as long.
twice as long.
So
What was the lap times down there Saturday?
oh, you're gonna throw me. Most of them were hovering, on average, without AA, somewhere around 30 minutes was about my average I was seeing. Some below, higher, but that's what I would say.
Well, I'm going to hold to what I've been saying, Chris, and that is for the AA's, open utilities. I think we're talking 40 to 45-minute laps. So I think we're looking at probably a 3-lap race. I'm not saying someone might not squeeze a 4th one in, but I just don't see it happening. There could be a lot of them. I hate to use the reference again, but almost like snowshoe, where it could be a 2-lapper, I think there could be a lot of them that only get 2 laps, but
Yeah.
I think some of your faster guys, faster classes are probably going to get that 3rd lap in. So, and all that's, it's all going to determine what the temperature is and the weather and, and everything also. So, but yeah, I think we'll be right there. So, yeah.
Okay.
So maybe
All
you'll
right,
get a
so-
day off. You will be a part timer if they're only coming through there twice or 3 times.
I mean, won't complain.
Well, the nice part about it is the track itself won't get near as rutted out, when we're only going around it, that many times. So,
yeah. And we get nervous when it gets too long. So, when we were 25 minutes into it, yeah, you start to get a little nervous on, where they at, what's going on, is there bottleneck? So probably like
Yeah.
any other person in the pits waiting on their racer to come by. So
Yep, for sure. Like I said, there's probably 15 crossings in this, Chris. Whether it's, actually going down through a creek. Most of them are going to be dry creek, going through a creek bottom with sand, at least 2 or 3 times. I know you're doing that. It's got everything. I'm telling you, it's going to challenge them for sure. So it's going to be interesting. But
so you guys are going to be down there working, and I will be here. We know that our last cutoff is Saturday, 5 p.m. July 20th. Yeah.
Uh-oh. We lost you again, Chris. You were doing so good.
Oh, yeah. I'm back. I'm back.
Okay, there we go.
Nope. All right. So July 25th, 5 p.m. That's the date and time to register. So if you know a friend who is not registered yet, and if you're looking at the series points, which were updated late last night, got them all posted. So if your name is green, you are registered for Canesville. So we're getting inquiries. You're getting messages. We're getting messages. So that's why we threw that out there on the points. People inquiring whether or not they are registered or not. So if your name is green on the series points, as of yesterday, you are registered. I saw that there's 2 more registered today. They're not updated yet. I won't be updating it, until later this week. So as soon as it gets shut off at 5 p.m. on Saturday, there's some work behind the scenes that I have to do. The lineup spreadsheet is ready to go. So we will be hopefully posting that by early next week. My guess would be before the podcast next week, we'll have everything posted as to what row and how many rows in each class will start. So
nice. And we got to figure out when we're doing it next week. We got to verify when we're doing our podcast next week or where we're doing it, because it might be something that I have to
do Monday.
That, or I do it from down there. We got our Starlink, so we should be able to do it,
Yep.
Yeah, maybe we can give some updates and stuff. But yeah, we'll have to talk about that as well. So
yep. And Gary's just, made excellent suggestion. If you're looking at just your case specifically or your class, check out the ones that are all green out there, and you can figure out what class you're in. So based off points currently, I know Dylan asked how long they'll be posted. Dylan, looking at your class, you'll be in row 2. So,
and just to clarify that again a little bit more, I've had some people ask me this weekend. So if I'm on the front row, is it whoever gets there first gets to pick? Is it what? No, we just literally don't have time for that, and we can't afford to be a mix-up. So if you are in the first, if you're first in points, you get the far inside. Second will be second, right on the right. And they start from the inside and go out. So 5th position would be the last one on the outside. So 6th will be on the inside. 10th will be on the outside. You know what I mean? So it'll all be posted, but that is where you get into. We're trying to keep it to where you don't have to be downtown near as much as far as being early. Obviously, we have to be there early in order to make sure everything is lined up and ready to go. I guess I should say, Chris, once we get our special announcements done down there, our prayer and national anthem, we are going. If you're not on the quad or you're not ready to go, you will get left, and there will be no time adjustment for that. So, So, but we will not try. I've determined this, Chris. We know we're going to have all the lines laid out. I've got room to lay out 50 rows, okay, if we needed it.
Yep.
But I want to warn everybody, it is on a small incline. So whether you can just leave it in gear or if you need to bring something to put behind your tire, but is on a small incline going up basically an alleyway to get into the first, I'm going to say 4 to 6, maybe 7 rows. We'll actually be able to see the start, Chris. All the rest of them will be blocked going down an alleyway. And as you pull up every time someone takes off, so every 20 seconds, you're going to be pulling up there. And it'll probably be like, I'm going to say roughly the next 10 rows, we'll be able to see the start. So you won't be able to see it right from the get-go. But you can have, this has been the most popular question. You do not have to go downtown when we line them up. And I don't have it in front of me, Chris. You might have it there, but yes, so there is a question on it too. So here's the thing we decided to do, or I should say, I'll take the downfall of this. If we just open it up, we're going to have people going for a long time, all day long, going downtown, down the highway. We can't have that. So there is some stuff we want to make sure is done right, and it reflects on us as well, especially after the issues that we had this weekend. So I am going to have it all set up downtown. I'm also going to have it set up now at the pits. So basically you will be able to run somebody can, not necessarily the rider, can come up. Everybody will be able to look on the sheet and see where you line up at. You'll know where it might be row 27 and I'm in the 3rd spot, so that's where you'll go is row 27, get right in the middle spot. But we'll have that to where we can actually line everybody up in the pits. Okay. And then we will take a parade, which do you have that time, Chris? I think it was
noon
to 12:30. Is that right?
Noon to 12:30 is the parade.
Yep. So we'll have basically get everybody lined up and then that parade going right down the highway. It's a complete straight shot. And then we will turn down and go right up the alleyway. So that the front row ends up at the starting line and the back row ends up obviously in the back row. But so you'll all so when we pull downtown, you're all ready to go. That may be different than somebody else has done or snowshoe. I can't tell you on that, but this is our first time and this is how we got it laid out. So I think it'll work out good this way. I don't think there'll be any confusion on it. So
just going to throw that up there real quick. Again, these are all posted on the series Facebook page. Is this shot. I just went and grabbed it really quick. Super small. I apologize, but just to run through it, gates open up noon on Thursday. Registration will open up 3 p.m. So even though, let's put this caveat out there for those that are new coming in this race, even though it's all pre-registered online, we still need you to physically come up with your AMA card and your helmet to registration and check in. Should be super simple. As long as your helmet and your transponder is all good, it's like 30 seconds and you're done per racer.
And on that, Chris, let me throw this in. If you get there on Thursday, there's a time on Thursday, registration's open, 3 to 8 or something?
3 to 8. Yep.
Yeah. Please come register. Don't wait till 8 o'clock on Friday night. You know what I mean? Get registered, get everything done, as quick as you can so everybody's ready. We're begging everybody on this one because, hey, this is all new to us, man. We're trying to do something really cool here. But man, I don't want us pushed. I don't want the racers pushed. I want to make sure everything's right. So Please get registered or signed in as quick as you can. So,
all right. So Friday, gates are open from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. Registration will open up again at 10 a.m. and we'll close at 8 p.m. So, silent auction will open, which I'm sure you'll give out more details, but that will start on noon on Friday. Mustache contest will start at 6:30, and then campfire stories will start at 7. And that will all be center staged that you're going to bring down to Kingsville. So it's kind of a stage that the mustache contest will be on, and then also some of those campfire stories.
Yep. And Chris, just so everybody knows on that, please, 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 please do not set. This is a once in a lifetime situation. Even if you're a sport rider, even if you're a utility rider, whatever it might be, please bring a lawn chair, bring the family, come up there and set in kind of like a drive-in movie and listen to these. These are going to be some of the coolest stories in our industry has ever had from people that's been there, done that, whether it be a Baja or, Best of Deserts or GNCCs or, it might be Heartland Challenges. It might be anything. It's just some of the coolest things. I'm telling you, that's what got me to do this, Chris, was hearing some of these stories when we started doing a little bit of research on Mike and talking to some of these people. It just couldn't be like held together like only me hearing it. You know what I mean? It's like we got to share this stuff. So please bring your youth down. There's going to be some funny stuff. There's going to be, please, everybody get out of the pits, come up there, bring a lawn chair, sit down and listen to what all these guys are going to be up on the stage have to say. So
Yep.
I beg you to. And I will tell you this, Chris, between my Aunt Linda and Sarah Penland, there is a bunch of swag, just little fun stuff to hand out, especially for kids. But it just keeps coming every day. And it's amazing, all the stuff. Don't forget also, Chris, the first 100 kids, when the gates open at noon on Thursday, the first 100 kids there get a free pit board. I got it still sitting down here from Super ATV that they get to go around and to like trick or treats. And that's something we haven't pushed enough is please, everybody bring as many stickers as you can to the race for your pits. Or maybe I know people that's had stickers made for, their team, one of the teams I think of is at 80th Avenue. I don't know if they got stickers made for it or not, but I think of, all these different stickers, Goldsberry Motorsports, Hayes Racing, all this stuff that's out there. Even if it's just a fun sticker, a race sticker or whatever, bring as many as you can. I've got probably a sack of them in the garage, that I've just kept through sponsors and stuff for many years. Some old race stickers from AXCC, from Iowa Series. We're bringing as many as we can, but bring them. It's going to be a fun thing for the kids. They just walk around kind of like once they get the pit boards, they can go around like a trick or treat and get stickers put all over it. And then you're going to be able to get Mike's autograph if you get them all filled up. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
All right. Okay. And then Saturday, gates will open at 6 a.m. Registration will open at 6:30. Youth race starts at 8 a.m. It is very important. I know it's not on here that you must check in 1 hour before we race. There are just too many things that have to happen to make everything go smooth. And we need we need that hour buffer to get everything set up at scoring. Make sure everything tests out okay. Immediately following the youth race and the track is all cleared, we'll do the youth awards. Tentatively 9:15. Mini race will start at 10:30 to 11. And again, their awards will follow immediately after. Then riders meeting at the awards podium. That is at 11:30. Again, important for everybody for it to go smooth. All 50 rows get off okay. We need people at the drivers meeting. Parade downtown.
Yeah, real quick, a drivers meeting. Every driver should be there. But for some reason, you're scared of getting overheated before, and you need to have a parent or somebody there for you, that is fine. But if they misunderstand something and relay it to you differently, that is 100% on them. So they have it's their own responsibility to know what they got to know and be there on time. So that's all I ask.
All right, parade downtown to get lined up in all the 50 rows. Will be at noon to 12:30. Again, that is a very short window what is it from the racetrack down to the square? Wasn't it a mile?
I thought it was right a mile, but I believe it's right at 3/4 of a mile, so it's not quite as long.
Okay.
And it's a straight shot.
Either way, it's
Yeah.
half hour that we've got to get everybody down there and get them all lined up. Special introductions will happen at 12:45. Prayer and national anthem at 1:15, and adult race will start at 1:30. Immediately after the race, we'll do the adult awards, and I believe all the awards will be at the podium. Correct, Andy?
Correct.
The
Same
stage
place
that
as
you
the
have set
riders
up.
meeting.
Yep.
Yep.
Just to make sure that's clear.
Yep.
So again, cutoff for minis should be at 9:30, and adult racers will be hopefully, maybe we should put that out there, Andy. I like to have that cutoff when we do the riders meeting. They got to be checked in before a riders meeting.
100%, because you're already going to be lined up before we do riders meeting. So
Yep. So it's important if you are within and don't get checked in on time, you may not line up on time. So
if you don't get lined up on time, I mean, Chris, I'm not going to lie to you, bud. There's places, if you're in lines, you will not be able to come in from the side. The roads are that tight. So literally you have to be, and once we get people lined up, we're tightening it up, you know. You can be right on each other's butts, basically, because once you pull out, that first line will have it all marked and painted there, where you'll be back from the starting line. I'm going to guess like 10, 15 feet, you know. So your last time you pull up will be on the starting line, you know. And it's a majority of it obviously is our people. It's going to be there, but I'm going to beg you, literally, please don't start. We don't have time to restart, 100 times. If we have somebody, Chris, and they decide they got to jump, I'll let you know kind of what we're doing, but I will definitely have something. Literally, it'll probably be like a 5-minute penalty, I'm going to put on. I really don't care, because we can't have that. We got to start every 20 seconds, so we will not have time to deal with it, Please have the machine running, ready to go. It's not one in the first corner. We've got it laid out to where I don't think we're going to have issues at all. But get downtown, and walk it, look at it. I'll have the downtown will be done on Friday, all done to where you can look at it. So, so that's, I guess, all I got to say on that. So
good. No, super excited for it. I mean, there's going to be, everybody's cooperation to make this a huge success. But yeah, it's going to take place. So we got to all be prepared.
Yep. And then once that race starts, Chris, had some questions on this. So there's plenty of parking for your side-by-sides, for your ATVs. Please do not let me catch or hear about you running through neighborhoods or running down the highway flying or anything. It's going to take literally, I'll probably know this weekend, but I'm going to say probably at least 40 minutes for the front row to get back there. So you will have time to cruise back to the track, either if you're driving down or if you want to ride down to the falls where they'll be coming through. When I say the falls, that's the last little section that they go through before they come out in the open and back to the pits. And that will be their biggest challenge of the day. But you can stand up above. We've got a place where you can go down below in the rock and watch right on the falls. Before that, you can set up on top of the creek. And when I say on top of the creek, the bank is probably 30, maybe 40 foot tall. And you can look down from there when they're coming through or after the falls. Now we changed a little bit. They'll be going through a sandbar and everything and climbing up out of there. So there's a lot of places, but you have time to get there is what I'm saying. So correct. You will only see them probably 2 to 3 times going through there. I know you want to get there, but we're not going to set a bad example and have our welcome ruined, so, but yeah, I think there's there's a small cafe in town that'll be open. We have 3 different food vendors. We got shaved ice. We got a dirty soda lemonade. Then we have another one that's a coffee stand. So we're setting pretty good on different stuff for vendors. Ice is a big thing for us, Chris. The closest town's 15 miles away that has a station, and that would be Eagleville. But the cafe, he told us, can make 600 pounds of ice a day. So ice will be available at the cafe, which is literally right at the starting line downtown. So you can drive about 3/4 of a mile right on the pavement, get there and get your ice and everything. We've been trying to find somebody to bring ice at the track, but we haven't got that done yet. So, but outside of that, though, I think that's pretty much everything. We'll give final details, I guess, next week if there's something changes. But I want to thank everybody down there at Kingsville too. I think there's 9 different landowners that gave us permission to get from the starting line downtown out to the track. We have people that's blocking the roads for us, to get there. The highway, we can't thank them enough this is a big deal. And like I said, Adam's had a lot to do with this. But people just don't understand the behind the scenes, with what's going on with this race to make sure everything goes good. So please be on our best behavior. I'm not too worried about that. We got great people, but we'd like to see this race continue for sure. So
yeah,
cool.
Oh, waiting to see that trophy in person.
This one?
That one. Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Still excited. That's like, if you think about all, we've already discussed it last podcast, but man, we're giving away that trophy, the other trophy, the first number, the first Missouri number plate. So
AMA
home,
number 1. Yep.
Yeah. Going home with trophy in each hand. So
yeah.
And then State Fair also in August. So,
and if you look at this, if you guys can see that's what Mike is holding, is a number 1 plate. Yep. So Mike is the trophy holding the number 1 plate. So,
yep. So,
but yeah, I think that's it. Let me address this one too. This one is, as you can see, this is the 4x4 invite. And I think there might be a little confusion there on the 4x4 invite. Part of it might be because we haven't explained it, I guess.
Yeah.
Partly because it's kind of a surprise to everybody, as you can see how we've been doing our invites. There's 1 or 2 more that are responded online tonight. This isn't about somebody that's raced with us in the past or not. This is all about Mike, this invite. We haven't sent any out to the leading guys in GNCC or the best guys in the Baja. That's not what this race is about. It's not what this class is about. So I've heard a couple rumblings that maybe some people is upset that they didn't get a invite. And I'm not sure where that's coming from. This is a special deal, and it's kind of like, like I said, it's all about Mike. So it's people that's been surrounded with Mike for years in the industry. And it's not about whether you've ever won a national championship. It's going back to being in this time with him and what they've done for our sport. I can tell you, anybody that's even asked, or I've heard rumors about someone being upset, about being at the race, if they are that, it eliminates them immediately, Chris. I don't mean to be mean, but these are guys that don't look at stuff like that. They look at stuff as like, how can I make things better? You know, they're not here to chop something down. They're here to make something better. And these are the guys that if you're riding an ATV or a 4x4 next weekend, and if you don't go up and shake the hands or thank these guys, then we have an issue already, because your machine, no matter what machine it is, has some kind of influence off what some of these guys have put into the sport. And that's what this is about, is to thank them, to get them back together. It's kind of like getting the band back together. And, you know, we don't know what we're going to do each year. You know, it might change next year on a 4x4 invite, but we're going to keep doing something. So not everybody will be the first year. You know, there'll be some probably different people that come the second year. I know for a fact some of the guys that are coming, it's their last race ever. They've already committed and said that publicly. I want to come back. I want to be with my old buddies, and I'm going to race one more time, and that is it. You know, so we won't ever get to see the opportunity of seeing these guys race again. So I guess if you're thinking you should be there, you've probably eliminated you from future, I guess, is what I would say, because the people that are there aren't asking. They're people that try to pump it up, not bring it down. So that's all I'm going to say, because these guys earn all the credit they've gotten, and they're going to get celebrated this time like they never have before. So, and I think we should all thank them. So I know I need to thank every one of them and shake their hands, because I got a Can-Am out there that we use. I got a Grizzly that we use, got a Honda that we use. And I can tell you every single one of those machines that I just mentioned, not to mention my favorite one, my Wolvie back. Remember, you're my pit crew, you know, but you know, every single one of those machines was affected in some way by the people that are going to be racing in that class. So I'm so excited. I think it's the first time we've ever had something like this, and I'm real excited about it. So anyway, I hope that clears that up. So what else
is bugging Andy?
Okay. So I'm going to set Mike down so I don't get too excited on this one. So what's bugging Andy? Chris, we have went and talked about this before. There's a website, a web page out there that I keep getting people asking me about. And I want to make sure that everybody understands, for the 1000th time, the IATVHSS stuff that goes on is not ours. Nobody. And I'm sorry if I go a little off here, Chris, I apologize up front, but that has nothing to do with any of us. That is somebody that owns it, that will not answer a question to us, that just uses our name, doesn't protect anything on there. For example, I try not to look at it. I really, really do. Sometimes something will pop up that I need to go in there and look at it. I feel like we're trying to monitor it more than whoever it is that's supposed to be doing it. But when you get people on there, and I don't care who it is, but man, I'll tell you what, I couldn't hardly sleep the other night. I got a call saying, look at this. And basically, look how stupid this person is not only do they call somebody out by name, but then they turn around and refuse to put their own name on there. And all I can think about is, man, is if you have a kid that's racing, or a little kid, or, you know, or a family member, what kind of, you know, are you leading them to? You know, it's okay here, I'm going to call somebody out, but quite frank, I'm too chicken to put my name down, you know, and it's not something I want to talk about at all, but I'm sick of hearing about people coming to me on that website. The people that own that website won't answer a question. They won't tell us who it is. They just want to use our name. And that's fine if that's what they want to do. I just wish they could keep some of that stuff off of there. But we have had no luck trying to get a hold of those people that own that. And that's what it's going to keep continuing to do, is they're looking for the clicks, I suppose. I get that they want to allow somebody to have a place to talk like that. And I think it's great. Like the posts that were put up there, that was a legitimate thing. I think it's great to have something up there. We need to make changes. We accept that 100%. But when you can allow a platform for somebody to go out there and call out somebody's name and then not even put their name down as an anonymous, I don't have any time for that. I wish we didn't have that kind of person in our series at all. So this truly is something that bugging me. I would never pass that along to my kids. But if that's the way it's got to be, then I hope that person or people feel better about themselves. And if somebody knows who that is, heck, I'll give you a free race if you tell me who it is, because I won't do anything about it. But I just kind of like to know and kind of chop them off at the knees, in my opinion, I guess. So, but yeah, that's what's bugging Andy. We have some great people, and more than likely it's not even somebody in our series, but I guess, that's the other funny thing is when you get on that website, Chris, and you see that stuff, you kind of get the stuff that people's been there or gone for a long time. They're the same people that hits negative stuff all the time. And I guess you could almost say we won because obviously we're in their head still, but it's just one of those things, it's almost funny. And I might shut up before I get myself in trouble, but
Yeah.
that's just what's bugging me. I can't believe that we got people out there that can do that, but anonymously, you want to call somebody out. So it is what it is. I'm just thankful that we got so many great people. We've got 200 and I forget what it was Saturday, 275 or something like that, total writers, something like that.
Somewhere around there.
So like pretty close to 300 families that I feel like are pretty happy and having fun as a family. And that's the number one thing we see out there is all the families having fun together and doing stuff and camping and everything and can trust where their kids are at and stuff and not have to worry about that. So I hope that kind of stuff doesn't bleed off and, and people start running with that kind of stuff, but it is what it is. We're not going to be able to probably change them people's minds. I just pray it's nobody that's in our series and it's just maybe a past upset person, that, don't have anything else to do and just wants to cause trouble. So anyway, there you go, Chris.
Yeah.
You asked, so it's all your fault.
I mean, yeah, all my fault. I'll take the blame. Go ahead. You don't have to post it anonymously.
But once again, that is not a series website. That is just a website.
It's not a series. You say a website. It's a Facebook group.
Facebook group. Okay. They just use our name. I wish I could find out who it is so I can set one up with their name, and start posting all the stuff about, whoever it is that does it probably has a company or a race or something, but see how it works. But I don't have time for that stuff. So I'm not going to be doing that anyway. We want to stay positive. I just wish everybody else would too. But outside of that, man, we got so many families that are happy. I'm so fortunate to have the youth and the writers that we got. You can't let that bug us. Just when you get those calls, about that, wonder why you allow it. It's like, we don't allow it, unfortunately. So, but anyway.
Yeah. So
that's all I got, Chris.
Well, that's great. I was just going to do a quick glance. Normally it's a uptick in registrations every time we have a podcast. So I was just going to refresh here and quickly go and look at registrations.
It's one thing that I'm most worried about though, Chris, is that one person that doesn't listen, doesn't do this, and all of a sudden they don't get a race because they didn't sign up. But that's how it will be, unfortunately. So please spread, I think, through the internet, the social media and stuff and all the races and the flyers. If you don't know this, you have to be on an island by yourself, So we've had several writers. I just got calls they were from Missouri or Arkansas, and they knew they had to pre-register. Everybody that's called so far with questions have completely understood that. So I hope it's not an issue, but it always scares me on a race that you have to pre-register with.
Yeah.
So.
And I believe you discussed it at the starting line for the adults, right?
Yep. Yep. So, other than that, though, Chris, the only thing I got to say is this will probably be the last time that you get to see this fella here on the podcast because he will be in Canesville next week. And this will be one of the first ones handed out. So, to the adults. So, all the youth will already have theirs. So,
Good.
All righty. No questions. That's interesting.
No, I think it's been quiet. Sorry for all the technical difficulties there at the beginning of the podcast. Is looks like I got some more bugs to work out on my end.
Oh,
all is
as my guys like to hear, one quick thing.
no, one more thing. It's one more thing.
One more thing. This is cool. I want to publicly thank DP Brakes, Larry Mills, for sending some giveaway, or not giveaways, but what do you call it? For the silent auction. And if anybody has something that they'd like to bring for the silent auction, that would be awesome. And then today, last night, I got a phone call from Bones at OMF. Wait till you see what he's sending us, Chris. Man, it's going to be cool. So, but yeah, thanks to everybody that's sending stuff for the silent auction. We don't have a lot of stuff yet, but I think it's going to end up being pretty cool. And of course, 100% of it going to Mike, help some of his treatments and stuff. So, yeah, Mike or Chris, no more, one more things. That is it for me. I am done. I do see we had a question there saying, can I bring less heat to the next race? Yes, it's already in the books. I've had it ordered for some time now. It's 75 and cloudy is what it's going to be. So there's nothing to worry about there.
Yeah, it was, we finally got the heat to break a little bit yesterday. I think it dropped 21 degrees from when I saw with the storms that pushed through last night. So,
yeah. It was like the air was on.
Yes. All right. Well, we'll touch base. Probably give everybody an update maybe over the weekend, potentially if there's a move in the podcast. Otherwise, I'll be doing it from here and you'll be at the track.
And I will try to do some live updates if I can get enough stuff from out on the track. So
good.
Maybe try to do a couple of them this weekend too while we're down there.
Okay.
So.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for sticking around, and we'll catch you next week.
Sounds good.
Oh, one more last question real quick, Andy. Camping right on the track, last race 2 available. Yes, there'll be some camping.
Is that this race at Canesville?
Yeah.
There's a lot. And in my head, I keep going back and forth. Not everything was perfectly flat, but it's not bad. But I think I'm going to even make another change to put in a whole big, long section. So, but yes, there's plenty of parking there for sure.
Plenty of parking. Yep. So, all right. Well, thanks everybody for sticking around. We'll catch you next week.
Thanks, Chris.